Hello, this is going to be a really quick video today talking about staying busy versus being productive. And I'm going to split this right between the middle because there are two sides of the coin within this perspective. And it helped me shape my thinking around the whole hustling to build something or to build yourself and staying busy while you're just running on the treadmill, you're not actually going anywhere, and seeing where the benefits and the disadvantages come with some of these different terms and your perspective on it and how it can impact you. So hopefully that this gives you a little bit of insight, and there's a golden nugget in here for you to pick from that you can actually apply into your life. Some little speck of what I'm saying sticks with you. So let's talk about being productive. Typically, if you're wondering about being productive, you have a goal, or you have a position which you hope to obtain. And whatever your time frame is for that, however you're framing this goal around your mind, I want to talk about just briefly the productive aspect. So, like I mentioned already, you don't want to be on the treadmill not going anywhere, right? You want to be actually running the marathon and not just on a treadmill saying, hey, I'm busy, I'm doing great, but you still haven't even moved from point A to point B, right? You want to get to point B so then you can get to point C and D and E and F, and you eventually get to your end goal, wherever that is. Now, that's on being productive. You want to make sure you do things which align to your next short-term goal, and that your short-term goals are aligned with your final outcome goal, whatever you want that to be. Typically, for what I've seen from people that are older than me, that goal and in this game of life, that actually gets shrunk right down into one little part of your life, and there's tons of other things that evolve which you have no idea about, which I have no idea about. So me being 23 years old right now, that is a lot of insight to try to carry forward. So right now, if I'm trying to be productive, I'm going to think about what? The short-term goals. Right now it is November, and I'm thinking about where I want to be set in February. Not, okay, starting today, 1 year from now, I'm going to do this just because something is not at the level which I expect it to be right now. I'm going to be optimistic and have the outcome be, okay, a year from now, let's get this thing going. No. Much like I typically ask myself, what are the constraints on the business right now? And I actually have that written on my wall. What is the constraint of the business today? That's something that I ask myself every day. What I'm talking about right now is not business, but your life. I will ask myself for the short-term goals. If I feel like I'm kind of in a stuck rut, but I want to be productive, I will ask myself, what are my short-term goals? And typically you can identify them. If you can't, I've talked about this before and how to get motivated. You go to your end goal and what you want that to look like, and you backtrack, work backwards. Okay? That's on being productive. Look at the short-term goals and what you can do today, which will help you achieve the short-term goals. So you may be thinking, okay, so, and you would be right, the long-term goals, they need short-term goals to line up to that big thing, correct? Well, if you want to get short-term goals, you're going to need little wins. And I mean tiny wins, because these short-term goals are tiny wins in the whole story. If you open it even more and you increase your view on a short-term goal, there's going to be many micro wins which are going to help you hit that short-term goal, get to the long term. So that may be your short-term goal is losing 10 pounds, and then 20, and then 50, and then 100, and your life has changed. Well, if you want to lose your first 10 pounds, the micro goal will be today, eat one bowl of spinach with, salad dressing or without, whatever you want to do. Okay, eat one piece of chicken. Okay, drink 2 full bottles of water, end it there. Tomorrow, drink 3 bottles of water, have 2 pieces of chicken, and have 1 bowl of spinach, and then a bowl of berries as well. Whatever the case is, okay? That's about stacking short-term goals so you can be more productive. That's being productive towards your goals. Now, talking about the other side of the coin, like I spoke to you about before, being busy. This applies to a different set of people. And I myself have felt there before. I know people who are still in there, who may be there forever. And I know people who have very quickly gotten out of that and they're back in their productive state. I know typically I will maybe fall into the state where I just want to be busy for a little bit. So that way my gears can start turning and I get into the mode of short-term goals, long-term thinking, and being productive. That's when you fall into a rut, which everybody does, okay? It just happens. It will always happen. It's inevitable. But for those people who just need to stay busy, right? All those things that they've gone through in their life, it makes it extremely tough for them to think forward and these long-term goals and hitting these things. Like, they have about a million things by the time they just open up their eyes in the morning that bog them down. And it's tough. It is extremely hard. I've seen it. I've felt some of it. And I'm very grateful to say that I've not had too many horrible things happen, at least in my opinion, so far, where I feel that way every morning. Of course, there's days where I wake up and I've had this, horrible dream about something I've been thinking about, but it actually happened and I experienced it and I felt awful, and you wake up feeling awful. Like, that happens to, I'd say, everybody at some point, right? And sometimes more often than others. Right now I'm talking about staying busy. And this is going to sound kind of opposite to what I was just talking about, but with this group of individuals, you need to stay busy. You don't want to just be sitting there, okay? You need to do something. So, when I talk about staying busy, what I'm referring to is having a set list of tasks for you to do that day, even if they don't line up with any of your short-term or long-term goals. Okay, we're not talking about that. And you know what? For a certain select few people, the last thing you want to do is be thinking about that. Okay? So that's why I'm talking about the two different sets. And I'm not saying there's a one-size-fits-all. I could say, be nice to people, treat yourself well, talk to yourself well, have goals, have dreams. Don't let spilled milk ruin your day. But certain people, certain things cut deeper because they have deep cuts, right? So have things going on in your day, like walking out to get the mail, taking your car down a street you have not been before, unless it's dark and it's blizzarding snow. You don't want to do that. But needless to say, right, you want to do things that fill up your day. Okay, if you don't work and you don't need to work, or you are having trouble getting over something that has happened, whether it be relationally, that be with your family or a partner, or something that has happened professionally in the past, or you're getting over something from when you were younger, whatever your personal state is right now, get things to fill up your day, because it will make the difference in the long term without you even thinking about it. And if it doesn't, if you don't believe that, and hey, I'm 23, what do I know? But from what I've seen and in my experience so far, what has worked for me and what I've seen work for others that I have spoken with and that I've just witnessed and been a part of their journey, have things to fill up your calendar day. And if you have something to get you out of bed, that's the first thing you should schedule. Schedule something so you have something to get out of bed. I want an 8 a.m. morning walk. Great. I don't give a damn if it's for 10 minutes or 10 seconds, or you go to touch the mailbox as fast as you can and you come back, or you go the longest duration you've ever walked in your life for one day. I don't care. Okay? If you're going to do it once and be done with it, and you know it, you're not going to stick to it, that's great. Pick something else to flood in that 8 a.m. schedule the next day, okay? Stack your days, get busy. Eventually, you're going to find things that you don't actually like doing that much, and you decide this isn't even worth me putting this time in. I'd rather be at home and be miserable, right? You might. I don't know. Cross that off your list. Don't do those things anymore. You may already know what you don't like doing. Then obviously don't do those things unless they're better for you. Then I would say, hey, go towards achieving this goal of getting better at X, Y, Z. However, I'm talking to the people where it's hard to get out of bed in the morning. There's people to talk to about this. And I'm not talking about therapists and all that. Like, you can, yes, but there's other people who, if you go online, you enter Facebook groups, or you just talk to somebody who you know has been going through a hard time, even if it's completely different, the pain and the feeling they may have might be exactly what you're experiencing. So, don't be afraid to just talk to people and say, hey, whenever I get down, I tend to think about this. Do you? Or, hey, I notice you don't act this way anymore. What did you do during your day that helped you out? Right? Get curious. Curiosity breeds amazing, wonderful things. Okay? So that's the difference between being busy and being productive. And not just this, guru mantra of stay busy, work hard, hustle, hustle, hustle. This is sometimes just for people who can't get their damn foot on the floor. Nobody's going to do it for you, or you already know that. But what I can say, if anybody here is watching this, is that is having a hard time with it, try something, and something will happen. I can guarantee it. Okay? I can guarantee that. And I want you all to have a wonderful rest of your day, whether it's morning, the midday, or at night. I want you to enjoy it, and leave a comment if there's anything which you want me to touch base on specifically. And if anything that you have gathered has helped you at all, let me know, and I will touch base more on those things. Okay? You got my word. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Take care.